come up of all the families of the earth unto Jerusalem to worship the King, Lord of hosts. Even upon them shall be no rain.
So if you don't keep the Feast of Tabernacles when we in the kingdom, you ain't getting no rain. Alright?
So nothing about no Easter.
Right. Go ahead.
And if there's no rain, there's no crops.
That's right.
No crops, you starve.
Right.
Y'all understand it? No water, no Kool-Aid. No baths, mainly.
All right, let's get it.
18. And if the family of Egypt go not up, and come not to have no rain, there shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite the heathen that come not up to keep the Feast of Tabernacles. This shall be the punishment of Egypt, and the punishment of all nations that come not up to keep the Feast of Tabernacles.
We're going to keep that feast and we'll be no rain.
Right.
That's such a few scriptures in the New Testament on where the word tithe is mentioned in.
Those windows gonna be closed.
Y'all gonna hit this, and y'all write down Isaiah 55 for time's sake, 1 through 4, and you see what the Most High say, come and buy milk and honey without money for a price. And then he'll ask, why do you spend money on that which does not satisfy? On bread that don't satisfy. Why are you seeking out? Why are you spending money on all these self-help books?
Yeah.
You know, you spending money on something that's not good doctrine.
Why trimmest thy way to seek love?
Right.
50 ways to get closer to Yah for 1999. No, blow the dust off your scripture.
All right, let's get this Matthew 23, verse 23.
Matthew chapter 23. Are we looking good? Matthew chapter 23, verse 23. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees.
Notice he's talking to the scribes and Pharisees. What did he say?
Hypocrites,
Uh-huh.
for ye pay tithe of mint and anise and cumin.
So he says, for you pay tithes of mint, anise, and cumin. These are plants, herbs. All right?
Herbs.
Herbs. All right, go ahead.
And have omitted the weightier matters of the law.
Uh-huh.
Judgment, mercy, and faith. These ought ye to have done, and not to leave the other undone.
So don't let them try to run and take your head, because this right here is talking about plants, herbs. Same thing back from the Old Testament. All right?
And understand this also the reason they'll say Christ is saying right here, pay tithe. Don't leave that undone, but Christ was still under the law at this point because he hadn't been crucified yet.
Right.
The order of Melchizedek hadn't switched yet. So naturally, yeah, pay tithe, doing it, but the first thing before tithe, mercy and judgment, because a lot of times we paying tithes with an evil heart.
Right.
You know, with something to get something back. I know if
With
I get
an
my
ulterior
10%,
motive.
right, the Lord better be coming with something by Friday.
Now we're going to Luke chapter 11, verse 42. Second witness to that.
Luke chapter 11.
Chapter 23.
Yeah, put time say.
Oh, time say.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think I preached this. Go ahead.
Where we going, Mark? Where?
Luke chapter 11, verse 42.
Luke chapter 11.
Go ahead.
But woe unto you, verse 42, Pharisees, for ye tithe mint and rue,
Right?
and all manner of herbs,
And all manners of money.
all manner of herbs,
Right?
and pass over judgment and the love of God. These ought ye have done, and not to leave the other undone.
Second witness. All right, quick, go to Luke chapter 18, verse 9 to 14. Read the parable.
Luke chapter 18, what?
Verse 9 to 14.
9.
Because they'll take you to Luke chapter 18 and they'll just start at verse 12. All right,
Right.
you gotta bag it up. They'll say, see, Christ even tithe.
unto certain which trusted in themselves that they were righteous and despised others.
So let's see what this parable that he's talking about. People
Selfish.
trusting in themselves. All right. 2 Timothy 3 tell you at the last day people be lovers of themselves. All right, go ahead.
2 men went up into the temple to pray.
Right.
The one a Pharisee and the other a publican.
A publican is a tax collector. All right, go ahead.
The Pharisee stood and prayed thus with himself. God, I thank thee. I am not as other men are.
Right.
Extortioners, unjust, adulterers, or even as this publican. I fast twice in the week. I give tithes of all that I possess.
Right. So they'll stop there. But remember, this is a parable. Go ahead.
And the publican standing afar off would not lift up so much his eyes unto heaven, but smote upon his breast, saying, God be merciful to me, a sinner. I tell you, this man went down to his house justified rather than the other. For everyone that exalted himself shall be abased. Exalted himself shall be abased. And he that humbleth himself shall be exalted.
All right, so let's go to one of the main scriptures they'll try to hang on. The saying that you got a tithe in the New Testament. It's 1 Corinthians chapter 16. You really got to pay attention to this because it will get you. It will get you. First Corinthians chapter 16, read verse 1 through 4.
Corinthians, 1 Corinthians, chapter 16, verse 1. Now concerning the collection for the saints.
For who?
The saints.
For the saints. This is the collection for the saints. All right, go ahead. Who the saints? The Israelites.
As I've given order to the churches of Galatia,
Right.
even so do ye.
So, did he say tithes? No. How can you tithe in no land? This is a free will offering, a collection for the saints. All right, let's get it.
Verse 2, upon the first day of the week, that every one of you lay by him in store.
So, he's put up your offering. He's not saying go to Walmart and shop to save. All right, read that again.
Upon the first day of the week, that every one of you lay by him in store.
Go ahead.
As God hath prospered him.
As what?
As God hath prospered him.
Nah, 10%.
Now he broke you off and blessed you abundantly, and you go scoop some away for somebody else.
Right?
Your extras.
Your extra. That there be no gathering when I come.
So Paul is letting you know, look, have all this done, and there should be no gathering, be no collections when I come. All right, this is what Paul is saying here. All right, go ahead, read.
Verse 3. And when I come, whomsoever ye shall approve by your letters.
Read that one more time. What it say?
And when I come, whomsoever ye shall approve by your letters.
Whosoever you can approve of, you will approve by your letters, meaning whosoever you can vouch for.
Yes, sir.
Would you vouch for somebody that's unworthy? Would you vouch for a thief? No. Read that again.
It's kind of like a letter of recommendation.
Right. To someone trustworthy. Whosoever you approve by your letters. All right, go ahead.
Them will I send to bring your liberality unto Jerusalem.
So then will I send to bring your collections unto where?
Jerusalem.
So where was this collection going to? Jerusalem. Okay, read.
And verse 4. And if it be meet that I go also.
Who shall go? Who?
That I should go also.
If Paul shall go also.
They shall go with me.
Who shall go with him?
The
one
saints.
who is approved by the letters.
Yeah, that's right.
That's who's going to be going with Paul. All right.
Psalms 50.
Read that verse one more time.
And if it be, verse 4, and if it be meet that I go also, they shall go with me. Now, I come unto you when I...
No, that was it for this.
Oh, that was it.
So notice Paul, he didn't take up the collection for himself. All right, this is collection that went to the saints, went to Jerusalem.
That's
so
right.
they'll try to hang on that. Well, Paul took a collection on the first day of the week.
It said,
Yeah, he did. Good.
It said liberality. Write this down, brother.
Do it.
Liberality is in the Greek concordance G5485.
G.
Yeah, G5485. And it's charis or charis, which means graciousness. And then it says the divine influence upon the heart and its reflection in life. Gratitude, acceptance, benefit, favor, a gift, gracious, pleasure, and thankworthy.
That's right.
That's what he was sending. That's what he was sending back to Jerusalem.
Right, I know we gotta get out for time's sake, but keep in mind, if you run this to these pastors and ask them about these tithes, these scriptures that you learned today, more than likely they don't get to run it, but keep in mind, the Bible tells you in 1 Thessalonians 5:21 that they got to prove all things. 1 Peter 4:11 says that if any man speaks, let him speak as the oracles of God. I mean, everything he's telling you, he also be giving you a chapter and verse out this Bible.
That's right.
Because Colossians chapter 2 verse 8 tells you about don't let nobody spoil you through philosophy, in vain deceit. So if he's trying to discredit what we're teaching you about these tithes, he would have to go to the Bible, chapter and verse, which we all know that precept must be upon precept. But that's it.
And also, let me just say this one right quick, write this one down too. What you got about?
Right now, Romans chapter 15, verse 25 to 26. That right there also about the contribution that went to Jerusalem. Right. Romans 15, 25. But now I go into Jerusalem to minister unto the saints, what hath pleased them of Macedonia and Achaia to make a certain contribution for the poor saints.
For who?
For the poor saints.
You just got done reading about 1 Corinthians 16. Read.
Which are at Jerusalem.
At Jerusalem.
It hath pleased them verily, and their debtors they are. With the Gentiles have been made partakers of their spiritual things. Their duty is also to minister unto them in carnal things.
That's right. I got one more.
And also, let me say this right quick before we get that one. 2 Corinthians 9.
That's where we're going right there. Yeah.
Verse 6, 7, and 8. Y'all just gonna close on out. 2 Corinthians verse 9 and 6.
All right, go ahead.
Right there. 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 6.
Read verse 6 to 11.
Okay. But this I say, he which soweth sparingly shall reap also sparingly.
Right.
And he which soweth bountifully soweth bountifully,
right,
shall reap also bountifully. And this is where they stop.
Right.
So they're telling you the more you give, the more you get back, and they close the book. But there's instructions for how to give that.
Right.
Verse 7.
All right, before you do, the precept to that verse is Proverbs chapter 22, verse 9. All right, giving to the poor. Go ahead.
Verse 7. Every man according as he proposeth in his heart.
Nah, 10%.
In his heart.
Go ahead.
So let him give, not grudgingly,
Right.
or of necessity,
Right.
for God loveth a cheerful gift.
Now notice that for God loves a cheerful giver. Paul didn't say nothing new. He was teaching from the Old Testament. When you write down Deuteronomy, I'm gonna write it down. Deuteronomy chapter 15, verse 7 through 11. That's where he got that from.
Y'all read the rest of that, y'all.
Go down.
We just got to make a couple announcements.
Okay,
I'm going to read down to that. Y'all read all down to verse 14 on that.
and write this down, family. 1 Samuel chapter 15, verses 22 and 23. And I'm going to read it as y'all write it down. As we do these sacrifices and all this thing, heed to what they said right here. Verse 22. And Samuel said, the Lord has great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices, and in obeying the voice of the Lord.
That's right.
Behold, it is better to obey than to sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of ram. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, he is also rejecting thee. So basically, we can do all this sacrifice, get some herbs, or put some money in, or whatever. But if you're not obeying the law, statutes, and judgments in your heart, for lack of a better phrase, woe be it to you.
Let's finish that verse 8.
So y'all, we,
What you say that was first, thank you, is the one out of the 99. 1 Samuel chapter 15, verses 22 and 23, with the Most High permission.
This is two more verses. I go ahead and read it. In 2 Corinthians, we still in chapter 9, and in verse 8 it says, and God is able to make all grace abound toward you, that you always have all sufficiency, and all things may abound to every good work. As it is written, he that dispersed abroad hath had given to the poor, his righteous remain forever. So that was in that verse 9, the precept that is Psalms chapter 112, verse 9.
right. So y'all, you clearly see y'all that there were certain rules for tithe. Once a year, every 3 years you bring in upon your increase. Most High don't want you to suffer. You can't live in the temple. You know, you can't live with the priests at that time. But there's been a switch, and the Most High say, look, if the ministry gonna go forth, it takes, y'all, it gonna take money. You know, because you can't show up down at the clean gas with a goat. Man, y'all about to turn me off, I got something out here. So y'all, it's gonna take money, but y'all understand that a free will offering is just what it means, y'all. We got a couple holy days coming up. We got the Feast of Purim coming up. That'll be on March the 15th. You know, and that's on the Sabbath day. So y'all, in 30 days after that is the Passover, and that's going to be April the 14th. It's on a Monday evening. Y'all, we're going to start promptly. We got the sign-up sheets back there. They're listed accordingly if you want to participate in this. Y'all, now we understand we talk about free will, but we're talking about feeding 300 people.